up, everybody? My name is Egle.
And I'm Martynas.
And we are Lindy Hop dance teachers, but we call ourselves simply Lindy Hoppers. We have our dance studio and work as a full-time dancers.
And we're going to tell you how couple dancing can improve your personalities.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to give you 4 words, and you're going to make your own sentence at the end of our speech with these 4 words. All right? Here you go. Men, women, happy, dance. Most of you probably agree with me that women more than men like to dance or want to learn how to dance. A woman usually asks her husband, boyfriend, roommate, a friend sign up for the dance classes or just to move on the dance floor at some party, doesn't she? Not for all, but for some men, first dance touch sometimes happens before the wedding, when the bride takes his groom to learn a wedding waltz. And in this case, this first touch of dancing in a couple sometimes is the last one. And it's so sad. Waiting for one of the happiest days of your life to come is not very easy.
But we see lots of people dancing around us, and they want more and more of it.
That's what business we are involved in.
Helping people to dance
more
and
more.
Dance more. But when we started working as full-time dance instructors, I had a big question for myself. Why people should dance, and why people dance, why should I dance? And I asked this question my friend. He was 50 years old American, and he said he would lose his arm if he could dance as I could. And do you imagine that, losing an arm for ability to dance?
Wow.
But he couldn't say why. And we started asking our students, why do you come to classes? Why do you dance? Why do you like it? And they usually start with...
They always say, I forget all my troubles I have.
Exactly. They come, they dance, they relax, because they're in this moment. And actually, that's how Lindy Hop came to this world. It was the times of the Great Depression in States. And people saved their last money so they could go on Friday night and Saturday night, just dance and forget all the problems and troubles they had, just to be happy.
Do you think times changed now?
Do you think people are so different now?
No. Well, I believe most of you like dancing, because you all have your favorite music you like to move to it, right? But if I ask you, do you prefer dancing in a couple more than dancing solo? I'm sure most of you would think that you don't know or you didn't learn how to dance. That's why you would choose dancing solo.
Because it's so much easier.
Martynas and me will love dancing a lot. And we are here today that you all would fall in love with dancing more than you are now, especially dancing in a couple.
But why dancing and dancing in a couple is so great? First of all, of course, it's music. Is there anyone who doesn't like music? Nice. So you hear your favorite song on radio or on YouTube or from your iPod, you tap your foot, you shake your head, you want to clap, that's it. You are already dancing. That's how your dancing starts.
So it's a body movement. We have our bodies, and we want to use our bodies. Why not sports? Yeah, working out in a gym is a lot of fun. So many people do it. Not. So sports is more about winning. And for example, making love is not. Sometimes the process itself gives you more pleasure than the result. So dancing is more about being in a moment than working out for a goal.
But why not solo dancing, but couple dancing? It's like comparing masturbation to 2 people making love. I'll show you. Dancing.
In dancing, guys, in dancing.
So, here's me dancing, like simple step. I'm happy myself, and you are not maybe because it's me dancing. But if I can dance this with Egle, see, she's smiling naturally, and I'm smiling, and it's a completely different story. It's fun sometimes to be alone, but dancing with each other gives you so much more fun. And a couple dancing is a connection between a man and a woman.
Here you go. We had to see a man and a woman. Yeah, that's a connection between
a
man
boy
and
and a
woman.
girl. Or two women.
You see, two women can
Egle.
dance too.
Or
Right.
two men.
That's
She loves it.
But why Lindy Hop? Why we dance Lindy Hop?
Because it's jazz music, it's jazz spirit. We can come together and dance because we know rhythm and we can improvise it. So no steps are important. It's just body rhythm, body movement, and giving influence to your partner.
Or getting influence from your partner. You know that usually there's one leader and one follower in a couple. Usually it's in any couple dance. In Lindy Hop, it's the same. One leader and one follower.
No.
Yes,
one leader.
One leader and
One
one
follower.
follower. And you actually will be surprised how women who are used to lead and be first in their lives, or to be heads, necks in their families, enjoy following after the while, or letting the man to be the master, at least while dancing. But Lindy Hop wouldn't be so great dance if I had to follow all the time, because I'm the woman who likes to lead or likes to be first, and it's sometimes really hard to shut me down. But here's the thing why I love Lindy Hop best. Our dance is communication. My partner says what to do and how to do, and I accept that. But we both hear the music, whatever it is. Our dance is improvisation and body communication, how we feel this music. So I'm allowed to talk in my dancing. Not all the time, of course, but I can say what I want to say if I want to say.
So accepting these rules makes our dancing more fun. I'm showing her the moves I want to be done and how I want these moves to be done.
So, because this dance is about communication, we socialize a lot, and it looks like this. Imagine, here's a social dancing party, and I come to a person I would like to ask for a dance, a person I not necessarily know, and say, hi, want to dance?
Yeah, sure.
So we dance. After one song, I or Martynas or someone else
Want
could-
more?
Yes, sure. So we dance more. After a couple songs, I can say thank you and go to another person I would like to dance with. And again, we dance, we change, we dance, we change. So the more partners you change, the more chances you get better dances.
Oh, come on, you should have limits.
Well, I do have limits, but changing partners in dancing. Changing partners makes you a better dancer because you have to adjust your body movements to another body movements. And it makes you listen more than talk. And when I start understanding different body languages, it gives me more intelligence and confidence. And you know, we have such students, I won't lie, more men than women who don't hear the beat. They always either slow, either hurry, but never in the music. They don't need music to dance, actually. And it's really hard to dance with them if you hear the beat.
And you could think that for them to learn how to dance is impossible, and you wouldn't be right, actually. Sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes a month, and sometimes it takes even a year. But if they keep coming to classes, if they just keep trying and keep dancing somehow, they just feel the energy, they just feel the beat, the rhythm, and they start finally dancing.
So the strangest thing that they still don't look very good in dancing. But it's not the point. The feeling is much important. So the feeling dancing with them is so much better. That's why we say, one can walk, one can dance. Everyone can feel the music, everyone. And for them, for these guys, it's really hard to manage to sign up for the dance classes because they know they can dance, but they want this so badly. And they're very shy, modest, quiet people. And they think everybody around them are so much better dancers, so much better sellers, so much better students, so much better dancers. people in general. But when they train the skill how to communicate in a couple, how to dance with another person, they shine. They become more confident because they can ask for a dance. Completely unknown person, at least just one, or maybe two. Or maybe find a girlfriend, or maybe change their life somehow.
Look at us 7 years ago.
It's just 5 years, because before Lindy Hop, we were not in a couple. But Lindy Hop changed us. Before knowing this dance, I couldn't stand in front of 20 people and read my report without blush and shaky voice. And look at us now. Yeah, we here. I think we have a better hairstyle now, right? But I'm not saying that I'm not nervous at the moment. Standing here is the biggest experience we ever had, because in our class we have up to 60, 70 people, and here it's a lot more. Yeah. Did Lindy Hop change you somehow?
Yes, of course. When I started dancing Lindy Hop, or before that, I was shy and not confident about myself in all kinds of life situations. You know, a challenge was for me, a big challenge for me was buying a beer or a drink at the bar. You know this feeling when the bartender doesn't see you at all?
Aww.
Do you think that impresses girls?
Mm-mm.
I'm not saying I'm the first one getting a drink now. Usually it's Egle. Ladies first. Or unless I buy a drink for her, so then I'm the first one.
All right.
But if we get into a situation where we can dance, and especially if I can dance with Egle, we just improvise and dance to any kind of music, and then people look at us, they smile, we get small talks. Girls talk to me a lot. It's a big boost for my ego.
Yeah, so if you treat yourself this big of confidence at the beginning, after you start knowing how to dance and communicate with another person, you're going to treat yourself this big of confidence. Plus, more intelligence and more listening what you can give to other people, but not just get. And when you evaluate yourself as a better person, you deserve to get better life, and you become more happy. On the one hand, is just a couple dance. But all these things, rules, changing partners, asking what's wrong, asking what's right, saying thank you, improve people. And instead of being a dancer A, here you go, and always looking down and shy and so on, you become, or you can become, a person and a dancer from the big picture.
And we had one student who came to us and said, thank you so much. We asked why, what happened? He said he was at some party with his university friends, new friends, and he picked up the most beautiful girl at that party, just because he could dance with her like no one else for 2 or 3 hours straight. Of course, the relationship after that lasted for 2 weeks.
That's not a point, actually. They were happy dancing together. All right, guys, now, we're going to show you why we call Lindy Hop the dance. Yeah, that's okay. I believe most of you know samba, salsa, cha-cha, house, maybe funk. We know most of these dances, but we don't know the steps. There's no need. If you know how to communicate in a couple, you can dance most of these dances, pretty much. I mean, at least you're able to move to that kind of music, because dancing, first of all, is the rhythm and connection between partners. You don't need even steps sometimes. All right, here's the music.
Want to see some dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, where's the music?
Okay. So we got slow swing music. Oh.
Again, please. Let's say this is our basic.
And we just dance, and we are more happy than you are because you watch and us dance. And let's have. And now it's faster. And remember when we told you the rhythm is more important than a dance, than steps. Let's stop it.
All right, I think we need to repeat it again. Yes? That's the music. All right. Let's do it again.
Okay, now we got some South American rhythms. And we can dance and we can do the same thing, the same bass.
Yeah, but add some more hips, and it looks like
Music. Now we got funk. Have you danced to house music? Have you ever seen a couple dancing to house music?
But that was all improvisation.
Yeah, improvisation, sure.
And body connection, and there's the music again.
But again, coming back to the question, why people want to dance Lindy Hop, and why this community attracts people so much?
Well, I think we found the answer, and this is not because of swing music.
It's because it's pure improvisation.
Yeah, a very...
Big improvisation. And it's a huge variety of music. And, of course, it's completely pure fun and no other meanings.
Yeah, isn't it, right? Do you remember those 4 words I gave you at the beginning of our speech? You had to make your own sentence with these 4 words. I'm going to give you my sentence. It's very easy. Men and women are happy when they dance together.
Now it's your turn to start dancing.
Thank you so much. That was Martynas.
And Egle.